Good morning, everybody. Got your coffee? I got my coffee. So look, some things to talk about this morning. Oh man, I got so much to say, but before I get to saying it, I need to say thank you to Verlene for that surprise cash app. I appreciated it, and it was needed. It was needed. Thank you so much. You know, there is so much shame associated with someone saying that I'm struggling. So when I get a surprise cash app, I'm always, so grateful for it because I am struggling. I have not, my husband and myself, America is really an expensive place to live in, y'all. And I ain't gonna hold nobody up on that shit, And so whenever someone supports me via a Cash App or a Venmo, I am always so grateful. And when I tell y'all, it goes to treating myself to coffee, to right down to paying bills and buying groceries. I still haven't figured out the ins and outs of monetizing YouTube. I wasn't great at it over at TikTok, to be honest with you, because you can sell products over there, but I didn't want to sell anything that I didn't believe in and I didn't buy. So I really only hawked one product, and it was a product that I use in my garden, and I used it years before. I made a video saying, hey, buy this, it's great for the garden. And then there was like a little light, not a light, but a clamp that goes around your neck so that I could film garden content. I hawked those things, and then a grow light. It was all garden related. But some people will sell anything knowing that it's a piece of junk. And in good conscience, I just can't do that to people because I am struggling, and I know how hard it is for people to come by money. And I'm not going to say in good conscience, this is just me, buy this product because, it'll put money in my pocket, even though it'll take money out of your pocket because it's a piece of shit. I just can't do that to people. I'm not okay with that. So I am struggling trying to figure out how to monetize this platform. And another thing about that is that there are people who will use this camera and they will say anything. They will lie to you all. They will give you misinformation. They will give you bonus facts. All the clickbaity, dishonest shit. I just can't do that. Like, my spirit, I can't do that. So yeah, I don't really make no money doing this because, it's hard to make money when you are integral. And being integral after lots of years of not being integral and not knowing how to become integral until I went and did all those years in therapy, I'm not going back to not having any integrity. I don't like that version. I didn't like that version of myself. And I'm not going to go back to that. Now, with all of that said, people treat, when they're struggling, like it's some kind of character flaw because that's what America does. Even poor people pile on poor people. You know what I'm saying? When someone is brave enough to point the camera onto them and start recording and saying, I need help, the way people, and a lot of them are poor people too, will attack them. When people talk about how expensive housing is or how they are being evicted, and it takes so much long time to get evicted, and you this and you that, and you had all this time, and it's just like, if you're not going to help, that's perfectly understandable, but you cannot help silently. You cannot make somebody's bad moment worse. And that speaks to character too. We don't have to do that to people. And again, with that said, A lot of people on my block are not coming to the community curbside library and pantry, even though I know they are struggling. And I don't know if it's because they don't want the other neighbors to know that they are struggling, because they don't want me to see that they are struggling. We do have one of the nicest houses on the block, if not the nicest house on the block. It's a really nice house, and I invested in it because I like comfortable surroundings. And it has lots of curb appeal. And I found out yesterday, because somehow it didn't dawn on me until someone verbalized it, that people that come to the curbside library and pantry to get food are embarrassed. That's why I said all of that. And I don't know what they embarrassed for. I may look like I'm not struggling on the outside, but hell, we're struggling. We're struggling. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. Now, mind you, we're not struggling to the point where we can't afford groceries. You know, we can afford our own groceries. We can afford our mortgage. You know, we can afford our bills. Sometimes they're a little late, but we can pay them. No one's cutting anything off. You know, it's hard to save money. We used to be able to do that with no problem, but as things begin to cost more, it's become more difficult. I have an HVAC system that is still down right now. But we've been managing. But there are people on this block that I know good and well need this resource, and they're not utilizing it because they are embarrassed. And I don't know how to reach them, and I don't know how to tell them. I don't know how to make it okay for them. The only thing that I can do is just hope that over the course of time, they warm up to that. They leave that embarrassment behind, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You know what I'm saying? The resource is there. It's a wonderful resource. And let me tell you who don't have a problem utilizing it. These kids don't. They ain't on the same shit their parents are on by any means. They coming in, they are getting their after school snacks. They are getting their dinners. Sometimes I see them take dinners. They are getting their books, their chips, their games. They're getting theirs, while their parents scratching their heads and their asses. And you know who else will utilize this resource? People from other communities. Now, maybe it's because they don't feel the same level of embarrassment because they're from outside of the community and they're coming to a place where nobody really knows them. But one of the things that I have, I think I mentioned it before, is I don't want anybody parking in my driveway, because the driveway is for me. My driveway is for me. I'm a northerner. We don't park in people's driveways. It's considered very rude. And so if they found their way, the way I advertised for this pantry, if they found their way to this pantry, they read 100% where I said, do not park in my driveway, do not block my driveway, do not block my neighbors, and do not block my current. You know, I worded it a lot better than that. But they read that part. Trust and believe. If they found that, if they read the address, they read that. But some people will do it anyway. And I was getting really, really upset by it. Really upset by it. And I had to come out and speak to a couple of people and tell them to get out my driveway. And they you know, they were properly chastised, because they know they would look at me, and I know they knew. I know that they read it. But they chose to ignore it anyway. And at first, I really did feel like it was a sense of entitlement. But I think what it is, I had to think deeper, and I think what it is more so than that is that people, because of where it is and because of the way the driveway is, and because they're in between the pantry, they park in a way where they are in front of the pantry. So the pantry is blocking them from this way, and their car is blocking them from that way. So they feel isolated. And because of that, they feel, unseen, more hidden, and I think that is because of embarrassment. So when I talked to the mother who has cancer, the mother is 6 yesterday, she stopped by, she got coats and everything and food. She filled up her bag. I only had one detergent and fabric softener left. I went in the house and got that for her, and she was so grateful to get it. It was the last one I had. By the way, if you're listening to this and you go over to the wish list, if you could go help us out with that, that'd be great. We also need some Vienna sausages, because if I don't tell y'all, how y'all gonna know? We need Vienna sausages. They love them little nasty things. And we need some more of those Kool-Aid jammers, because the teens have discovered the box and they hit those jammers kind of hard. And then the mothers that hit the pantry, they take them home to their kids. So those jammers get hit kind of hard. And I really do hate having to ration those out, because it's one of the few things that people will buy to drink from the list. And so, I hate that. Anyway, it's one of the teenagers going to school. I wanted to see if they was going to stop and get some breakfast, but they didn't. But anyway, so we're, wait, they're coming and they're not, hopefully they ate at home, because this pantry has breakfast in it too. Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry, I get distracted. When it comes with the kids, I'll take care of the kids before I take care of anybody. But anyway, those jammers, and Spam, those go really, really fast, but I do realize that those are the more expensive. Those Kool-Aid jammers, though, they're not too pricey at all. But I do realize that a tray of Spam can be kind of expensive. And, but those Vienna sausages, that's why I got them on there in the 6-packs, because they don't cost too much. They're like $6, something like that. So if y'all could, I really appreciate that. But, yeah, I think that that's what it is. And, and the thing of it is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink. I don't know what I can do to make it okay for them, I'm not saying that no one, from my community does, it's people from other streets do, but there are people right here on my street that I know need this resource and they're not using it. And I just wish they would get over their embarrassment so that they can get what they need, because you guys are so generous and sending so much, and I just want to help them. I really just want to help. And there was this one gentleman the other day, he was walking with like about 6 kids up one of the side streets, and they looked like they were struggling. And I haven't seen them. I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.